This sweet, sweet, glorious, gorgeous little video is protected by fair use. It is not for profit. It is for free. You can share this freely. And it is for the purposes of criticism and commentary and teaching. It's for educational purposes. Thanks for watching. Are you selfish, or do you want to help others? If you want to help others, hit the like button. It takes half a second. It helps others find my channel and find some truth. That's what it does. Helps others. It's free. So help others find some knowledge. This video is for mature audiences only, adults only. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy. Enjoy. Look at him. Just look at him. So some people would say, why are you laughing? Why are you mocking him or what? Well, you'll see what I mean. I knew right away what was coming up. I could tell by the look on his face, the expression, the energy, that this guy is not going to take the topic seriously. And I only played about a minute or so of this, then I skipped ahead. I skipped into somewhere up here, and I skipped through a couple times, but you'll see what I mean. And my intuition, my instincts were correct, and that is why I'm covering this, because you're going to see a lot more of this coming up on YouTube. They're going to try this tactic to mock the topic, to try to make it into a joke so people don't take it seriously, because they really want you to think it's just stupid so that you'll get trapped here. And that's part of how this matrix works. You're in a very deceptive place. You're in a hall of mirrors, and it's beyond that. And layers upon layers of deceptions. And part of it is they mock things to try to, get people to say, oh, it's not serious, it's a joke. This is Nick's channel, over 12,000 subscribers, over 8.8 thousand views. So YouTube lets a lot of people view his videos when he makes Reincarnation Soul Trap video. He gets over 680 likes. My channel doesn't even come close to that. When I make serious videos that are studying it and making real points and analyzing and stuff like that. I don't think most people in this realm want what's serious. They just want to be at, I don't know how to describe it, someone sitting in the movie seat. They want to be entertained, or somebody playing video games, or somebody that's just watching a stupid TV show and just yawning, just bored, and they're catering to that level, and YouTube pushes their videos, and they do very well with reaching a lot more people than my channel ever does. This is around 8 times more easily what my videos reach in 3 months. Okay? So you have to understand this. It's reaching a lot more, and only 114 comments. So sometimes there's plenty of comments on my channel, but YouTube is throttling my channel. That's part of it. And the other part is a lot of people love this level. Seen this person before in other channels. Some of these names jump out to me. I've seen them on other channels like Howdy Mikowski, or that hair hat visor Chad guy, or, some of them I've never seen. Hopefully I can reach some of these people. Look at this. 2 videos in, and this is a top 3 channel for me. Genuinely subbed and lifelong viewer earned. It's incredible. And you're going to see the level that this guy makes videos at. As if this doesn't indicate a little bit, it should to you. Well, Stephen, that's just his face. Some people would say, no, it isn't. The expression is very revealing. He's acting. He's an actor. And you're going to see it. So hold on to your hats. Sit back, enjoy some popcorn or snacks, and enjoy this. Really enjoy this 13-minute video this guy does, and look at the views he gets. There's a reason for that. There's a reason his channel's promoted that way.
Have you heard about how the white light people see after... Have you heard about how the white light people see after death is actually part of the whole reincarnation trap? And that they're keeping us imprisoned here by going into the light? No, I don't want to get into it. So many people avoid talking about it because they feel like it's too scary. But if we go deep...
Right off the bat, the camera's here. He's looking over here. So he's reading from a script, from a teleprompter, or something. Maybe cards being held up if he doesn't own a teleprompter. Somebody's over there holding something up with big lettering or whatever for him to read. Just look at his eyes. Okay? This is scripted. Right off the bat. And he has a soy boy helium voice. Okay? Which I guess people these days, men and women, younger ones, just view as normal. Well, his voice just sounds like he stayed at 13 years old. I guess this is normal for people in their 20s these days. I guess for you, you're like, what are you talking about? Scratching your head going, he sounds like he's on helium. What does the Sanity machine mean by that? But listen, pay attention to his fucking voice. Maybe you'll see something. Pay attention to his eyes. Pay attention to his body language. Do all the things that young people these days generally don't do. Some do, exceptions, but most don't. They're so used to looking at a screen, they don't read body cues, body language, nothing. Nothing. It's so obvious. And that's why channels like this grow, and they reach people with this shit. They'll say, he's not acting, he's not fake. I mean, what's normal these days is laughable acting. It's bad acting. Okay? Wake up. Don't say, oh, I'm just living my life. I'll wake up when I'm out of body. Too late then. Just like it's too late to say at that point, hey, I'm sorry, Stephen. I followed Team Evil. I believed them. I doubted you. I was disloyal. I was two-faced. I stabbed you in the back. Sorry. It's too late then. You had a lifetime here not to do that. I'm going to show this for a second. All right. So I showed this already on my community page. It is two of my pieces combined. One of my owls right here. It's an owl. See the large eye there? It looks different in color, but, it's all black and white. Tones of gray here. Here's the owl eye. Here's the beak. An eagle's beak would be much bigger than this. This is a wolf. So it's two creatures in one. Two faces, left and right. And a lot of people these days are two-faced. If someone were two-faced towards you and did harmful things towards you and slandered you and was disloyal and two-faced, how quickly would you be to forgive them and trust them again? It's never the same, if you're honest. So please, when that happens to me, try to understand on YouTube, oh, okay, that's why Stephen's this way towards someone that was a backstabber or two-faced, a former moderator, and is now bashing him behind his back. That's why. That's why. That's the reason. Because you wouldn't like it, would you? So try to use some empathy. Put yourself in my shoes and say, oh, now I understand why he's saying this. And it is too late once we're out of here to cry and say, Stephen, I was duped. You were warned about Team Evil. You run back to Team Evil here and attack me and slander me and make false accusations and say that I'm a bully and all this stuff for defending myself against these creatures, these demons that are doing all sorts of things that you're ignorant about and don't care about because you don't care about what happens to me. You only care about others, especially females, where, how dare he make fun of a female's body or her calves or something. And yet she bashed me for, 9-10 months. Where were you then? Where were you when there were smear campaigns running across YouTube about me? Where were you? I guess it was fine for them to attack and falsely accuse and try to smear me and lie about me and try to say they're going to call the cops, destroy me, do violence towards me, and I fight back after all these months, and people say, well, he's a bully. I'm fighting back against many people. I'm not a bully. They're ganging up. They're on the same team, and they are evil. And as I said, it is too late once you're out of this realm for you to say, oh, now I see that they're demons. I didn't know, Stephen. I didn't know. I was on their side for months or years. I didn't know, but now I see they're demons. It's too late. I'll look at you like I don't know you. And that's justified. That is earned. Okay? You could say, well, I'd never lock someone in here no matter what they did. Yeah, you would. So this is what Team Evil's trying now. Their tactic, a strategy. Saying nobody deserves this. Yet they've been attacking me, slandering me, lying about me, falsely accusing me, calling me hideous things that I'm not, and trying to convince people that I'm these things. Okay? They've done evil here. Evil earns evil. What do I mean by that? They earn this realm. Just like somebody, like, please spare me. You wouldn't be crying your eyes out if your beloved friend or daughter or son or sister or mother, whoever you care about the most in your life, that you're closest to, if they were murdered, hypothetically, YouTube, hypothetical scenario, not real, fictional, if they were, let's say, by some creature, some demon, some awful sadistic creature, you wouldn't be crying your eyes out for them, saying, Stephen, don't do anything to them. Let them be. Don't lock them away. They deserve to be free. They don't deserve to be put in prison, kept out of society. You'd have a change of heart. So fuck off. When it comes to me defending myself, I will defend myself here and outside of this realm. And putting the demons, locking them in here, sealing them in here, quarantining them in here, putting them in here like a tomb, keeps them away from the rest. It's the same premise as prison. And the violent and the dangerous don't deserve other chances to harm innocents like children or to murder your loved ones. So start fucking thinking. And that's what really annoys me about a lot of so-called, quote, truthers. A lot of them are less moral and less thoughtful in terms of this than normies. I could find people on my block of where I live that would say, yeah, lock them away forever. They harm children, or they're abusers, or they're a murderer, and they've done this cold blood, and they don't care about others, and, you know, lock them away from us forever so they don't harm more. They understand basic stuff. Working class people will understand this, that are not, quote, truthers, that are not spending day after day on YouTube. So I don't know what is wrong with a lot of people, but there are some major, major issues with spirituality, minds, and morality in this so-called, quote, community on YouTube. Beyond my channel, but on my channel too. Some show up here and, oh, why would you say you're going to lock them in? Because I don't want them ruining and harming and going after me and others for eternity. That's not eternity. That's not heaven for me, to deal with demons forever. And some of you bleeding hearts would say, let them all free. Nobody deserves to be locked in here. That's demons working you over and playing you like a fool because they want out and they know I'm going to seal them in. And you don't have that knowledge yet, obviously. You don't have the eyes to see. You're a pretend truther that says, well, you can't do that, or I don't know if you can do that. Well, wait and see. Watch me. Just watch me. Okay? You defend evil here, you fucking belong here. You're the same type that, just like the feminists that say, no women should be in prison for no matter what they do. Close all the prisons and release them all. This is what feminist leaders have been saying for years, and you're acting like that, saying, well, let them go. Nobody deserves to be locked in this realm. Bullshit. I want them quarantined here forever. I don't want them out there. I don't want them ruining every beautiful realm and making it toxic and ruining every good time, every party, and having to watch our backs forever and ever. I don't want that. I don't want that. And that's what you support when you say, don't lock them in here. And you ones that are crying, literally crying for literal demons on YouTube that have done me harm and made threats of violence against me and made threats to call and report me and do all this stuff. You're supporting them. What the fuck do you think I'm going to see you as when I'm out of here? The same way I see you as here, supporting evil. No crying, no excuses are going to work. They don't work here, and they won't work out of here. Laugh it off if you want to. Go ahead. Ever considered that I might have knowledge that you don't? Ever considered that? Some of you that support evil? And I'm going to show screenshots of some of these people saying that he barely shares any real knowledge. He barely shares any real knowledge, just sprinkles it and most of his channel is just attacking and just, you know, oh man, what they've said is disgraceful. Disgraceful. I'll make it very clear again, once again. Support evil, you're on the side of evil. You will be treated as evil. It's that simple. No excuses. No excuses will be accepted. It'll be too late for that shit. Don't be evil here. There are consequences. F around and find out.
Have you heard about how the white light people see after death is actually part of the whole reincarnation trap? And that they're keeping us imprisoned here by going into the light? No, I don't want to get into it. So many people avoid talking about it because they feel like it's too scary. But if we go deep down the rabbit hole enough, it's not what you think. Okay, you know what? Go for it. So I was doing a lot of research and it's hard to pinpoint the theory's origin. But I think that the ancient Gnostics were the first to believe that the physical world is some sort of trap. And in Gnostic texts, such as the secret book of John, the physical world is described as a place of imprisonment where the divine spark or soul is trapped. They believe that the world was created not by the Christian.
So what he's doing is reading, as you can see. It's obvious. Unfortunately, yet again, younger people can't tell when someone's reading on camera or acting. They take this as normal and good. And videos that show a bunch of bullshit, cheesy, childlike graphics and him playing different roles, they eat it up, they lap it up, they love this shit. He calls this research. He goes right to the Gnostics, so he's going to try to pigeonhole people into being a Gnostic if you see this realm as a soul trap. So he's trying to paint people as believers in Sophia, the demiurge, the archons, all this type of stuff. And a good God out there somewhere that abandoned humanity. I'm not a Gnostic. If you're new to my channel and you don't understand. I'm not in the Gnostic box. I'm not in the Gnostic pig pen, the Gnostic animal farm. I don't wear the Gnostic label because I have huge disagreements with Gnosticism. Do I think they had a little bit right? Yes. Yes. Do I think they have a lot that's messed up and misleading and will just give you hopium and potentially lead you right back here again? Yes. Yes, I do. I think believing in a loving God at this point makes you a slave and gives you a master or an authority figure that can't possibly be good or virtuous or noble or loving at all. If it created this shit show and abandoned you and left you here and said, fuck you, I'm leaving my children to be dominated by evil, ruled over by evil in an evil realm. That's the worst parent ever. That's not loving. That's not noble. That's not caring. That's not empathetic. That's not virtuous. That is evil and neglectful and shit and demonic. So the Gnostic God that they say, why did you abandon us, is shit. Okay? As bad as any parent that leaves infants and neglects them in a house and just walks away and leaves for days or weeks. It's worse than that. That's how bad it is. Worse. That's terrible in itself, obviously. It's worse than that to leave a realm full of people that it calls its, quote, children to this, to be horrendously tortured and abused in a place that's ruled over by evil and just walk away and neglect, no intervention and not give a shit. Okay? So the ones that say, well, the God isn't evil, it just walked away and abandoned us. Well, that's just as bad. All right? If you understand morals. Maybe you have to study that for years. I don't know what level people are at. Maybe you don't have a moral compass and say to yourself, wait a second, that wouldn't be a good God that left us here and abandoned its children to evil, to be preyed upon. You got to start thinking, though. A lot of you are still under mind control. Again, I'm not saying this is an insult, and this is the way that brainwashed people tend to take things. Oh, he's saying that as an insult to us. No, I'm saying it because it's true. If you think that way, you are under mind control. Sorry that you are. But you are, and I see it. Okay? Anyway, moving forward here, moving forward. This type of shit does get me kind of going because it's just so goddamn obvious, and people follow this shit, they lap it up. And they need these videos to be have it shown to them and explained why this isn't good. A lot of thousands of people watch this and praise it. And I'm shaking my head. I mean, it's more obvious than any politician or any TV preacher. It's so obvious.
God, but by the so-called demiurge, which was an impure god-like being created from a divine being called Sophia, who desired to create something apart from the divine totality. So without the consent of the Most High, she gave birth to the demiurge by procreating with herself. And then, being ashamed of doing this, she wrapped it in a cloud, the demiurge, and created a throne within the cloud. And according to the Gnostics, this is where the whole physical world is. And this demiurge is what keeps us trapped here unless we can escape the trap. And the trap is ran by the demiurge itself with the assistance of its servants called the archons. So then the goal of human life is liberation from the physical world and the cycle of reincarnation to return to the divine source, often referred to as pleroma or something like that. This happens.
Divine source, I don't buy it. The loving God, the Most High, that they say the Gnostics believe created Sophia, or often called Sophia because of that John Lash Lamb character years ago. He's another story. Maybe I'll make a video on him sometime. He's quite a character, we'll say. But I don't buy any of this. Divine source, I'm not merging with any of this shit. That the Gnostics, if you were, let's say, you could say an Orthodox Gnostic that buys it, believes it by the book, I'm not doing anything that you're doing. I don't buy it at all. I don't want to merge with this shit at all. That's the last thing I would do. I would KI double hockey sticks this whole fucking thing before I would merge with it. Okay? You might not understand that now. Maybe months from now or years from now, maybe you will eventually. Maybe you'll get there to that point. Maybe you're not at that point of understanding that yet. And I'm not kidding about that. Some people would say, well, what's wrong with that? You don't get it. You don't get how deceptive this whole thing is. You just don't get it. And I hope you do. That's why I make the videos, in hopes that you do. Do I just assume that you will, though? No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't even assume that people on my channel won't run back right into the arms of evil or Catholicism, right to the Vatican, right to Jehovah's Witnesses again, run back to their cults, run back to Team Evil channels and ones that are duping you, talking about Nibiru and all kinds of shit. I've seen it happen, so it's very possible that more and more will keep doing that as time goes on. It happens once in a while. Once in a while, there's 2 or 3 that run back right into the arms of evil deceivers from my channel. So that is how this realm works. So believe me, like, you can't really shock me anymore. There's people that would run right into the arms of Baphomet at this point. And I'm not kidding. They really would. And they would say, well, he has wings, and he says that you're evil, Stephen, and that you're actually you're on Team Evil, and some of the symbols you use on your channel are evil. So your artwork, look at, you're using ravens, so that makes you evil, or this, or that's what they do. Go ahead. I'm not holding anybody hostage here. If you want to run back to cults and Team Evil, it's disappointing. I'm disappointed in you and your lack of discernment and your lack of loyalty, your lack of logic, your lack of thinking, and everything else, your lack of a moral compass, the way that some of them are two-faced, and they go back and they start talking about me, slandering me behind my back and everything else. Just shitty people. Okay? Weak people. Shitty people. I don't control them, though. They are free to do that. You are free in this realm to choose evil. You don't have true free will, but you can choose evil. You can make choices like that in this place. And choices made like that here go beyond this realm. It won't be forgotten. And I'm telling you that while you're here, so you can't say one day, I didn't know. You just heard me say it. If you choose evil here, it goes beyond here in this realm. It won't be forgotten. If you side with Team Evil and you say you there's a line drawn in the sand, and you're over on the Team Evil side, supporting them, defending them, lashing out at me, attacking me, trying to shut my channel down, trying to stop me from reaching more people to help them get out of this place. You're on Team Evil, clearly. It will be remembered. And you will be treated one day the same way that all the others on Team Evil are treated. And no excuses will work. You can't say, they conned me, Stephen. I wish I wouldn't have listened. All these excuses. I know what you'll try ahead of time before that day. I already know. I know. It's not going to work. Better make the right choices here. The moral choices. It's not about being tricked. You've been told and shown. So if you're evil and immoral here, good luck. You deserve to stay here. I don't want you ruining the rest out there. Oiling it, making it toxic, making it into a fucking trash heap, a landfill of toxicity and evil and suffering and narcissism and false accusations. I don't want it being a mirror copy, a carbon copy of here. I don't want all the rest that could be pure and beautiful and wholesome and wonderful and amazing to be like this shithole. I don't want to give you the chance to ruin it if you're a demon. So fuck you. You can stay here. The ones that say, oh, no one belongs here, these bleeding hearts, they would let the worst out of the prisons and just to ravage your children. They're sickos. They don't have any true morality. The most moral thing that I can do in this body and in this lifetime and in this matrix is to shut this down, to end it. And if you don't see that, you really don't see too much. You really don't see too much. Because that is the ultimate moral choice to make. Okay? For the ones that don't understand, why they keep saying, why do they keep coming to Stephen's channel? Because evil sees more than you do. I'm sorry to tell you this. There's evil out there that knows that I'm speaking truth. That's why they're coming after me more than anyone else you'll see on YouTube. That's why they're coming here. To attack my channel. That's why they're making videos about me. Slandering me. Multiple smear campaigns in the last year. Multiple. On and on and on. Death threats. Witch hunts. You name it. That's why. Because they can see what you can't see yet. Okay? On a deeper level. They know what I am. Not just in this body. Not just how I look physically. Okay? They know what I'm saying about what I'm going to do out of this body and out of this hell realm, out of this level, what I'm going to do to this matrix and how I'm going to seal the demons in. They know that's true in ways that people that are claim to be lovers of my channel or ones that love my content, evil knows that I'm being sincere about that. In ways that some of you haven't really realized yet. That's the truth. And they're scared, and they want to attack me as much as they can here in this realm. Okay? And they also know that let's say, terminating my life here, KI double hockey sticks, ending me here, doesn't stop me, because they know that I am an eternal spirit. I don't have an eternal spirit. I am an eternal spirit. This is just a body. It's just a vehicle. It's just a vehicle that I'm in. It's just an avatar, a meat suit. That's all this is. It's not me. Okay? I know that I live on once I leave this body, and I know what I'm going to do. And they're worried about what I'm going to do. They're not on the fence like a lot of people that are watching my videos going, I kind of like what he says, but I don't know if he's really going to seal them in here. Oh, evil knows I am. You might not know that yet, but they know. They know. The hive-minded demons that are legion, that have a hive mind, they know. Okay? They know. It doesn't end here. The people that are worried about living a long life here and this and that, I'm way beyond that stuff. Way beyond that. It's not boasting. I don't care if I die tomorrow or next year or I don't want to be living to 95 or 105. I don't want that. And it's not going to happen anyways with the health issues that I have. Okay? that's out of the question. That's not going to happen. But I'm not focused on this place. I think bigger, beyond this. People knows that about me. I hope one day you understand what I'm saying. They don't look at me as just a human being. They look at me as a dangerous adversary beyond this level, outside of here. And I do kind of break up laughing and start smiling because I look forward to that. And people don't get that, but I do. I really do. It's hard to contain myself and get through these videos because the imagery starts running through my mind of these battles and what's going to occur. And I just feel it's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's glorious, but it's almost like a hit of a drug or something. Like I can feel it. And it's euphoric, and I look forward to it. I don't look forward to tomorrow in this hell realm. Why would I? It's pretty much the same as today. I mean, I can do some creative things. I can draw, I can paint, I can write, I can make videos, I can make serious videos on esoterica. I can record my poetry, I can do readings from books, I can do funny videos, parody videos, voice. I can do whatever. I do a variety of things to keep it interesting. To keep myself interested too. You know, I don't want to do the same thing over and over again. But anyway, that's not important, really. I don't look forward to tomorrow in this hell realm, but I look forward to slaying these demons. And I really do. I mean, I look forward to that. How can I put it? For people that haven't ever experimented, I won't name drugs, but experimented at least once or twice with drugs in this realm at some point. The only other comparison really is just euphoric. It feels like an orgasm. It feels like the best sexual experience. Slaying these demons is going to be so glorious. It's going to be, it's not just going to feel good, it's going to be doing good. So it's like a combination of things. It's like looking forward to something, knowing this has to happen. This is doing what has to be done, but it feels good, and it's the good thing. It's the right moral thing to do. It's like all into one. It's all combining into this glorious, glorious, magnificent battle against evil. Okay, against demons, slaying demons. May feel like the most wonderful thing that I've felt in many lifetimes here. Well, I think this is my first lifetime, but many lifetimes, let's say, within different matrices. Okay? This level and other ones as well. I don't think this is the only matrix. I don't assume that. I don't make stupid assumptions that limit things or set myself up for a big pitfall or a big bad surprise, let's say, and get a rude awakening like, oh shit, there's another matrix. I'm not going to be surprised. Okay, I'm expecting all kinds of things. It's not paranoia, it's being prepared. There's a difference. Don't be scared. Be prepared and calm and looking forward to it. 33 minutes, 33 seconds. I also want to mention, I'm going to give a shout out to some people in this video. And from now on, whenever I remember, so I just went by the double 33, I'm going to give a shout out to Louise. Okay? Louise is a subscriber on my channel. She comes across as a wonderful being, and it's not just because she has nice looking hair and is attractive. It's not just because of that. There are people that I also love on my channel that, you know, they might not be the most blessed or gifted in terms of genetics, and that's fine. We don't choose these meat suits. It's the luck of the draw. You could be disabled and in a wheelchair and deformed, and if you're a good spirit, then I love you. All right? And you're a warrior for going through this life that way. And it almost does get me teary-eyed to think about the ones that, and it is hard to think about, but the children that go through that in this realm that have different things, okay, and it's an awful place, and they have to deal with this hell realm, and they have all that extra on top of them, where they can't walk, and they can't speak, and they have a deformity that other people make fun of them for. I never attack the good spirits that have something. I attack demons. I admit to that readily. I will go after their looks because they're narcissistic, and that bothers the demons, the ones that deserve it. Okay? But anyway, shout out to Louise. It was good to see her in the chat, and she said some things that ring true and that I'm going to repeat here, to keep on smiling and keep enjoying the simple things. Don't forget to enjoy yourself, whether it's you want to have a drink or a smoke or a good meal, a really yummy meal, whether it's fattening or it's this or it's that, or, I try to watch my salt just because it doesn't make me feel good. My hands, like, I'll feel it, right? Like I'll get high blood pressure and feel the tension in my hands, and my body will feel weird. So that's what I don't like. It's not me being a health freak. It's just, I don't like feeling that way. It's not a good feeling, if you get what I'm saying. So stuff like that. So I have certain health issues, but I'm telling people to enjoy what they want. You have a nice dessert or a delicious dessert, and I do as well. I'm not supposed to have sugar. I have a bunch of different health issues that I won't go into. Okay, but what she said was to enjoy these, and I agree 100%. Enjoy these things, the simple pleasures. To smile. Don't forget to smile. Enjoy these things while you're here. You're not going to live forever. We all die. And what is the point in saying, I'm not going to do any of this stuff that I enjoy because I want to live to be 95 or 105? You might not live that long if you cut out everything anyway. A lot of people cut out everything, and I think there's a life script here. I really do think that there is something to that. Is it 100% for everyone? No, probably not. But is it for some of us? Yeah, I think it is. So, anyway, I'm just saying, try to enjoy day by day. Enjoy laughter, jokes and laughter with friends. Funny videos, stuff like that, lighthearted stuff. Don't always focus on the dark or the depressing or the hardcore stuff. I try to add humor to my videos, and some of these demons hate laughter. And they'll just say, just stick to the video, or just, no, I'm not going to, though. I'm going to add humor and jokes and stuff, because people need that, and they need comic relief. And a lot of people appreciate that. And I do care about them. I don't want people to get depressed and dark and down about all this stuff, okay? What I'm saying is, we're in a hell realm, okay? And it does take a lot to accept that. I realize that you can't just accept that in an hour or in a day. It doesn't work that way, okay? It's not a good thing. It doesn't feel good. But you know what? It's going to be way better out of here. So actually the message is positive and empowering. If you want to look at it as positive, liberating, freeing. It's going to be so much better out of here, okay? And this isn't forever. This is temporary. I'm going to do whatever it takes to end this place. You can trust that. You can count on me when it comes to that. I'm not going to walk out of here and forget everyone that I care about in here that's suffering. And the ones that I don't know personally, but they're children or they're innocent spirits. Children, teenagers, adults, or elderly. There's some elderly people being abused in this realm, and it makes me goddamn sick to even watch those videos. It breaks my heart, and it enrages me. It enrages me. Because it's so bad and it's so wrong. That they're vulnerable. These older people, let's say an 88-year-old or a 90-year-old, and they're basically helpless because look at the state of their body at that point. They're frail, they're thin, they're weak. They don't have the muscle mass that a 30-year-old man would have. Fuck, it pisses me off when I see that stuff. When I see children abused and when I see elderly people abused especially, and animals too, of course. It just makes me sick. It breaks my heart, but it also makes me sick and it makes me angry at the same time. So there's sadness, your heart sinks when you see it, and you get the sick feeling that this place is so sick. And then I get that rage against these demons, and it's on camera a lot of times in these places. Nurses do this in hospitals. They've abused patients. Ones in nursing homes with elderly patients. It's fucking horrible. So excuse me for ranting about that and getting worked up. I'm passionate about this stuff. And it does get to me. It does bother me. It does bother me. And it also shows me what this place is. That this cannot be allowed to continue this way. It makes me want to spit venom in their face. I'm not a snake, but you get what I'm saying. Just spitting mad. That's how that makes me. It's angry. And I don't like evil. I've never liked evil. But the more you see in this place, the worse you see that it is. It's almost incomprehensibly evil is what this place really, truly is. And most people haven't even seen 1/10,000th of it. They're just skimming the surface, seeing an evil story here and there. They don't realize how much goddamn evil there is in this place. They don't see it, you know? So that is something that gets me emotional. All the abuse in this place. The children that get abused, and then they're affected by the abuse and trauma for life, and it's... I'm going to pause this for a second. Hold on. Move forward with the video. I can't talk about that much more. And it's just... It's too sickening. It's too sad. And...
happens when the soul...
I hate this evil place. I really do.
turn to the divine source, often referred to as pleroma, or something like that. This happens when the soul reaches a form of awakening or enlightenment. And this is actually in disagreement with Christianity because according to Christians, God created the world and everything in its highest form. While in Gnosticism, it says that an off-brand God did it instead. And the Gnostics are the only tradition that I could find that depicts the whole reality as kind of being like this messed up creation and an inherently evil or ignorant God created it. But that also depends on the date of the tradition because the Gnostic belief even changed over time. It depends on what text you're looking at. But as far as I could find, there was no mention of a white light that you needed to avoid in order to kind of stop this reincarnation cycle from happening. Damn, that's heavy. Yeah, but that's not the full story. Because we've also got to talk about reincarnation in Hinduism and Buddhism because some people see that as a trap too. And you'll see things on the internet saying things like, escape the cycle of samsara. And then we keep having to come back here in Earth in different bodies until we escape the cycle of karma. But it's usually people that are not actually in those.
You find this goofy guy funny? Just be honest. I'm gonna try to move forward and get past the emotional part. Do you find him to be funny? This goofy guy that's looking over this direction the whole time, reading from something, whether somebody has big cue cards or has a teleprompter. He has something set up, not that far away, but off in the distance off camera. Do you find him going into the lawn chair wearing different clothes, you know, playing two different characters? Do you find this shit funny? Or is he just trying to make a joke out of the whole topic?
Philosophies and traditions that see it that way. From my research, most Hindus and Buddhists don't see it as a trap at all, set by a malevolent being. There's no way that happened. Yeah, the whole trap thing is not really relevant, but it's more seen as a natural process driven by ignorance, desire, and the effect of one's actions or their karma. And in one of their holy books, the Bhagavad Gita, it reads, "One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not..."
What's my evidence against this? Examining the realm and looking at the videos that I've already made showing the evil in this realm that's part of the design. It isn't free will. It isn't human created or human caused. It's not evil that's caused by our choices. Your choices don't create hurricanes. Your choices don't create earthquakes. Your choices don't create tornadoes and thunderstorms where lightning electrocutes people. Or great floods that floods out an entire state, destroys homes and drowns people and drowns children. Your choices aren't doing that. Okay? Volcanic eruptions, fires that can burn Hawaii, and let's say a legitimate wildfire that, forget about Hawaii, let's just say a legitimate wildfire, and there are in the United States and Canada every year. They've been here for centuries, long before, let's say, settlers from Europe got here. There's been wildfires, okay? That's the way this realm is designed. The disease is here that we don't create. There's tons of things, evil and suffering here, that's built into the design of the realm. So I don't care about these religions. His research is going to mainstream religions. What's the point of that? Anybody can look at the mainstream and say, well, I did my research. I examined the mainstream religions that most on earth are duped. They've always been duped. The majority of the masses, you go back thousands of years, philosophers of the great minds have always known that the masses are duped. The majority is always duped. The majority is always asleep on everything, on politics, on religion, how this realm works, how heaven and hell work, morality, following. They have a slave follower mindset. They've done human experiments where they, like the Milgram experiment psychology, where give people electric shock when they're ordered to by a white coat or a fake white coat, and it's all on camera, and they follow orders. Most people in this realm are order followers. They're not moral. They're followers. They're sheep, and they have masters. This has been known, and this has been proven many, many times. And it's observable. It's observably true. You could see it during 2020. If you couldn't see it then, I don't know what will help you see it. It's just so easy to see. That's what this place is. The herd follows along with evil. So I don't care how many follow these religions. I mean, followers are going to follow mindlessly. That's what they do. So this guy thinks he's done his research because he looked into religions. Well, good job, but you're no Sherlock Holmes. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, and Sherlock over there, my finger puppet, just nodded his head. Like, yeah, of course that's true. I'm one of the greatest detective minds ever to walk this earth. But he said that, Sherlock, not me. Anyway, yeah, I mean, this is research. Hinduism and Buddhism. I don't care what they say. I go by what's observably true. The evidence looking at this realm and studying near-death experiences and studying my own supernatural experiences and going by the evidence that we have in totality. I don't give a shit about religion. I don't care what they believe. They don't go by evidence at all. They say things that doesn't add up at all, that you can observe and say, yeah, what they're preaching just doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense with what we're looking at in this realm. It just doesn't make sense. It's 2 + 2 = pineapple. So who gives a shit what they preach?
Upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arunha. Excuse me, you probably scoffed at that pronunciation.
This shit, you know. He didn't scoff at it. He mocked it. He said it mockingly. And this guy's just being a douche. Okay? You can get upset. If you need a box of tissues, get your box of tissues to cry for him, because I said, he's a douche, but go ahead. Go ahead. You do what you gotta do.
Oh, Arunha. Excuse me.
Got an orange shirt on. Orange is 33. He sounds like a soy boy. Kind of has a mullet here. Pointing his finger, which is a Freemasonic sign. Okay? As I've shown in other videos. I've shown Dave Grohl and others that are that's one of their favorite ones to use.
Excuse me, you probably scoffed at that pronunciation. In the context of this is that it's Krishna explaining to Arunha that understanding the divine.
You trust him? He's trying to make a mockery of the whole topic, and he's misrepresenting it. He's saying that he did his research, And so far, he's talking about this fucking mainstream religious shit, which is not reincarnation soul trap research. So he's misrepresenting the reincarnation soul trap topic and misrepresenting the topic and the research that's been done, because he hasn't gone near looking at, let's say, my channel, my videos, and research along those lines at all. He's just doing this corny, jokey stuff. It's not even funny.
You probably scoffed at that pronunciation. And the context of this is that it's Krishna explaining to Arunha that understanding the divine nature of life and activities can lead to liberation from the cycle of rebirth, implying that the knowledge and understanding are key to transcending the cycle of reincarnation. Which is interesting because it hints at the same thing that the Gnostics did, the same things that they thought the same things, which is that having some form of enlightenment stops the cycle of reincarnation. But
hold on a second, people. He's not taking this seriously, of course, with his editing and his zoom-ins and everything else that he's doing here. His cutting, editing. But he looks familiar. Don't you think so? I'm not kidding. He kind of looks familiar. See it? I thought so. Sweet Jesus, it's Doogie Howser. Doesn't it look like him? It looks like an older Doogie Howser. It does. Just that look. Is that him? Oh, his name's Neil Patrick Harris. What about him with a beard? Could that be him? With some facial hair? This him? Neil Patrick Harris? The Matrix 4? Is that him? I'm sorry, people. I'm trying to find a picture that looks... Hold on a second. I don't know. Is that him? Here we go. Here's some facial hair on him. Is that him? Is that him? Yes, they added a fake beard to him. Same picture. They took this picture and put this beard on him. Here he is with a gingy beard. Somebody put this on. I don't know if he's ever had a beard. Oh, he's sporting a mustache. I don't know. There's a bit of a similarity. If his hair was different, looks a little bit like him. It looks a little bit like Doogie Howser. Be honest. Be honest. The eyes, the nose. If the hair was different. You know, I'm not saying it's him. Of course, I'm joking about that. But he's kind of acting like a Doogie Howser in a way. You know. I'm not that douche from down under. Down under. Down under. That thinks everybody's an actor and someone else. I don't think it's him. I don't think that's Neil Patrick Harris. Okay, just to clarify, it's a joke.
Incarnation. But these differ from the Gnostics because there's not an inherently evil or impure God at all that created the physical world.
His voice is similar, though, oddly enough, his voice kind of sounds a little bit the same. Do I think it's him, though? No, of course not. I don't. But we're in a matrix, okay? They can make things pretty similar, and there's strange stuff going on in this place. All right?
From the Gnostics because there's not an inherently evil or impure God at all that created the physical world, according to the Hindus and Buddhists. Also, in these traditions, there's no mentions of not going into the white light and that you can somehow escape the cycle of reincarnation by not going into it. So this white light trap thing doesn't seem to be anything that is rooted in ancient tradition. But hold on, let's go to a different part of the world. I'll paint the picture for you. In ancient Greece, Plato, 400 BCE, he wrote a book called The Republic, and it's something called the myth of air, which is a tale of souls being reincarnated on Earth after choosing their next life. The concept of a cycle of rebirth could be interpreted as a trap, although this really isn't how, if you read The Republic, he really framed it. In the book, a soldier dies in battle and comes back to life on his funeral pyre and tells the tale of the afterlife, called the myth of air. So he travels to the place where souls face judgment for their actions during this lifetime. And though
So he's framing this as there's just this one group of people, the Gnostics, and no one else agrees with them, so they just can't be right. It seems like he's putting it that way. He's trying to frame it that way. Well, just shaking my head. You look at truth in this realm, the majority are almost always way, way off and far away, not even close to being on target. That's the way truth really works in this realm, if you really think about it. So this guy seems like a normie that stumbled upon the soul trap topic, and he's trying to sum it up in 13 minutes by referring to mainstream sources. You want to talk about a Doogie Howser move. I mean, it's just silliness. It's television. And you'll say, some people will say, don't you know, Stephen doesn't realize Doogie Howser was a child prodigy genius. Became a doctor. I mean, you don't get what I'm calling him Doogie Howser for. He's dorky. That's what I'm talking about. And Doogie Howser's fiction. And this guy is fiction. This guy seems like an actor. What is he reading from? Because it's damn obvious that he's reading from something. And all of Team Evil will always say, well, what does it matter if he's reading from something, reading from a script? Well, did he write the script himself? Did someone else write it? Was it handed to him? Like, at that point, how the fuck do you know? Why is it scripted? Why doesn't he just talk off the cuff here on a camera? Why does he even have to be on camera, standing up and moving around? Why didn't he just make a video showing this type of stuff, the images he didn't make himself, that he downloaded? Why doesn't he just make the video with this and share knowledge? Why is he on camera and speaking with his hands and putting his hands this way into Freemasonic hand signs? Why is he doing that? Why is he reading from a script? Who wrote the script? Was it him? Why is he posing this way as he speaks? Why does he have to use so much body language and moving his hands and using his hands into hand symbols as he speaks on camera? Why? What's the point of that? Do you need to see my face to learn something from my channel? Does my face have to fill up the goddamn screen? No, it doesn't. I don't make myself the center of attention, and I'm not the point. It's the information. It's the information, the knowledge, the gnosis, which is knowledge and wisdom, that's important here. Not my face, not how I look, not what kind of shirt I have on. And I definitely wouldn't be swinging my arms around in all these different fucking poses and I don't know, man. It's just like there's so much here that is like a red flag. And then there's so many people, again, there's 8.8 thousand views and almost 700 likes and over 12,000 subscribers. People never seem to see through this shit. They want bad acting. They want script readers. They want this fucking shit. And it is disheartening. It really is. They want this shit. And it's so obvious what it is. It's just so obvious. He just decided one day, this is a campground, to make this video on the reincarnation soul trap while he's standing there in the woods at a campground that you pay for, or usually you pay for one. Maybe there's some places where it's free, and this is the campfire grill there, and that's where he is. It's not his backyard, That's what I think. That's what I see here. The campground. And that's why the ground is this way around this campfire pit. Cook pit, cook and grill. Right? That's what I see. It's one of those places you have to pay for firewood and, this and that, and you get a little plot. Get a little campground. He just decided, you know what, I'm going to set up camera equipment on a tripod, and I'm going to set up something to read from, and I'm going to, spontaneously do this Reincarnation Soul Trap video that's been all scripted out. Like, think about it. I want people to really think on my channel. That's what I want you to do. That's why I make these longer videos, because if I just covered it in 2 seconds, people would be like, yeah, I think he's legit, or, I disagree with him, but, well, you got to see beyond that. This is an actor on your screen, and this is what they do. So when they fault me for, oh, well, Steven curses, he uses, I'm a real being. I'm not paid to do this. I'm not a fucking actor. I don't want my face famous or on the screen all the time. I don't like that. I'm not here for attention. It's not about me. It's about the topic. I'm not the focus. They put themselves, think about it. Just think about it. It's right there. They're showing you something. They're showing you who they are. It's what they're really doing. I don't trust this guy for a second. And if you do, I'm worried about you. Okay? Especially if I know you. If you're brand new on my channel, I guess I can't really be too worried about you because I don't know you from Adam, you could say. Or Eve. All right? Which I don't buy to begin with, of course. Those two. Anyway, because that makes no sense, but that's a whole other topic. But you get what I'm saying. Lots of poison ivy in there. It's God's gift to the allergic to poison ivy. Terrible stuff. If you're really allergic. Some people can get it in the air when it rains. You don't even have to go into the woods at all. You can wear long pants and avoid it and not step on it, and you can still get it. I was like that as a kid. I had it all over my body, between my toes, between my fingers, on my legs, chest, all over. Hands, wrists. Fuck, it's terrible.
They framed it. In the book, a soldier dies in battle and comes back to life on his funeral pyre and tells the tale of the afterlife, called the myth of air. So he travels to the place where souls face judgment for their actions.
You speak with your hands this way? I want people to really think, and that's why I do this. You shouldn't take offense. You should say, you know what? Thank you, Steven, for trying to get us to really think and really wanting it that bad, to really push us to think. I want you to notice this shit. You watch these videos, whether I'm around or not. I could be dead tomorrow, or you could be watching a video on another channel, right? And I'm not there. I'm not analyzing it. You're watching it on your own. You're like, oh, this guy's moving his hands all over the place. He's looking in this one direction, Let's say you're watching another video and you start seeing similarities to this one. That's what I want. I want you to be able to detect this shit in a heartbeat. Right away. Just automatic, where you just pick up on it. You're like, damn, what's he talking about his hands so much for? What's that all about? Remember, this guy's out in the woods, standing on a campsite, professionally filming himself doing this. You don't find this odd? I sure as hell do. Does this look pretty clean? Has he been hiking, or does it look like it's just, fresh off a hanger, let's say? Think about it. Think about it. Really, really think about it. Could this be fake behind him? It could be, but I think it's probably real. I think he's been paid to do this, set up, and this is staged, and this is professionally created. That's what I see. I see a 2-bit actor that can't make it in Hollywood, and he's doing this. That's what I see. All right? And I'm going to tell you what I see, even if people go running for the safe spaces and start crying and calling me a bully and saying I'm mean. I'm going to tell you what I see. I see an actor right here on the screen. That's what I see. I see a deceiver. I see an influencer. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
back to life on his funeral pyre and tells the tale of the afterlife, called the myth of air. So he travels to the place where souls face judgment for their actions during this lifetime, and those who have done evil are punished, and those who lived virtuous lives are rewarded. After this judgment, souls are sent to a place, or led to a place, to choose their next life based on their desires and what they've learned from their past lives. And after choosing their next life, the souls drink from the river of Lethe, or river of forgetfulness, which causes them to forget their experiences in the afterlife and their past lives before they reincarnate. The drinking of the river of Lethe could be seen as a metaphor for the human condition of ignorance regarding the soul's true nature in the bigger cosmic picture.
So we're trapped here and shit. No.
Disagree with them. It's not ignorance, it represents the mind wipe between lives, so that you don't remember where you were before, or your past lives, or the in-between, the soul recycling center they have, and all that stuff. Now he's going to mock it with this mullet, orange shirt. The dog doesn't even look like it likes him. Hands were going all over the place.
Regarding the soul's true nature in the bigger cosmic picture.
So we're trapped here and shit. No. Oh no. We're trapped here.
You just farted. You know why you farted. What are you doing? Get out of here, fart master. You'll be surprised.
They call my some of them are calling my videos juvenile, and this guy is talking about the soul trap and being, tricked and trapped here. He doesn't really go into it, though. He's covering this other nonsense. He talks about his dog farting on him, so. This is the level, unfortunately, most people in this realm are at. This level on the screen.
Nature in the bigger cosmic picture.
So we're trapped here and shit. No. Oh no. We're trapped here.
You just farted. You know why you farted. What are you doing? Get out of here, fart master. You'll be surprised where this goes. I did some digging around the internet, which I love to do. And I found out who the actual people spreading this white light part and the trap part around were. Who are the major players? And most of the names of them are channels which don't really have a real name. They're just text-to-speech YouTube channels from years ago, and random Reddit forums are like, don't go in the light, don't go, it's a trap up. There's not really anything to it, but there is one
Saying most of the channels are just text-to-speech. What are you talking about? He can't even find the channels talking about the soul trap topic. I haven't watched this far into the video. This is news to me right here. It's just, what the fuck, man? That's incredible.
YouTube channels from years ago, and random Reddit forums are like, don't go in the light, don't go, it's a trap up. There's not really anything to it, but there is one name that you would probably expect to be at the center of something like this. And so here's a picture of his face. He's known as the one who will not be named on the internet.
David Icke is Johnny come lately. He's new to this topic. He had decades to mention the soul trap, and he's just recently started talking about it. Very, very recently. So think about it. And he's trying to say, it's incredible. It's really incredible, isn't it? He's trying to link the soul trap topic with, David Icke is the big name.
internet, basically, at this point, and he's the proponent of the soul trap, and I had to do many hours of painstaking research to find out why. And it's because, according to him, this is what he said: if you're learning lessons and building upon previous lessons to reach enlightenment, as Eastern traditions say, why do you forget the lessons you're supposed to have already learned and start as a blank piece of paper each time? It makes no sense. It's frankly ridiculous. The lizard people guy saying that that's ridiculous. What a joke. Yeah, I know, right? And he goes on to say, actually, when you leave this body, if you've not reached a certain level of awareness about what the hell is going on, which is why my book is all about that, he says, not my book, that's what he was saying, is about his book. The idea is that you keep control of a frequency so that nobody gets out of here. There's the trap of reincarnation and learning lessons. That's a trap. It's not about learning lessons. We are all that is. We can reach our own state of enlightenment with the realization of who we really are. End quote. I'll be honest with you, that just sounds like a word salad that's trying to make it sound different to sell books. Well, it definitely could be that. And it seems as though he thinks that the original teachings of the East are about learning lessons. And if that's what he thinks, then he hasn't actually read the text, because that's not what they say. For example, Bhagavad Gita, again, Krishna explains the path of selfless action. By performing selfless service with the body, mind, intellect, and senses, one achieves liberation from the entanglement of karma. And then in Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path, which guides individuals towards enlightenment. They don't explicitly mention any sort of learning lessons. They speak about an understanding.
Trying to become selfless and drop your bad karma is a lesson. So yeah, it could be viewed as a lesson. This guy's trying to paint Soul Trap is stupid because it's, quote, promoted by a lizard guy or lizard person guy. He's trying to poison the well and say, well, the Soul Trap is stupid because David Icke is crazy and pushes lizard people. That's what he's trying to do. Shaking my head. Look at the hand there. That's weird. That's weird. To talk with your fingers all spread apart that way, out like that. It's just strange. It looks weird. Would you freak out if his fingers suddenly in the next frame were like to here, somewhere past this grill? I have a weird imagination sometimes, but I've seen some freaky shit on videos, so, you know. Some of it fake, yes, it is. But I leave open to the possibility that some of it could be real. Because we're in a strange fucking realm. Alright, we just are. And if you want to dispute that or whatever, I mean, if you don't see that part yet, we're in a fucking strange place. Really strange place.
Of suffering in the following of a moral and philosophical path, and then that's what leads to enlightenment. For example, the Buddha's first teaching, he outlines the Four Noble Truths. This, monks, is the noble truth of suffering. Birth is suffering.
Suffering is not noble. Mother Teresa preached suffering, said it was godly to suffer, that you're closer to God when you suffer, it's a good thing. She was sadistic beyond what you can imagine. They had millions of dollars coming in, and people under her, quote, care in her hospice were dying of things that would take a simple operation or simple medicine, and she didn't buy it. They were reusing old needles over and over and over again, used into different people, washing them under cold tap water. There are people that exposed her that work there. It's horrendous. She seemed to enjoy seeing others suffer, and that's what she was doing. That's the reality of Mother Teresa. But anyway, she preached suffering as noble and good and godly and closer to God. And I mean, this monk is fucking deranged. The noble truth of suffering, birth is suffering, age. Well, you know, but does that mean suffering is good because there's so much here? This is where they don't understand. Illness is suffering, death is suffering. Look at this. And they'll say suffering's good. And they have no imagination to say, why do we have to suffer? What's the point of all this? I don't want to suffer. I don't want you to suffer, who's ever hearing my voice. Whoever is hearing my voice, I don't want you to suffer. I wish I could heal you. I wish I could help you, get you out of here. Unfortunately, I can't heal you while you're in here, but I can help you get out. And that's what I'm working on, okay? That's why I'm making these videos. But I also, at the same time, I know that demons watch my channel like a hawk, and they show it. I don't want to help them get out of here. And I've made no secret of that. I want to seal the demons in here. I don't want to help them get out. Not even one out of this place deserves to get out of here. The demons belong here. But all this worship of suffering is fucking warped. It's demented. It's deranged. Would you say this about a close family member, people that are Buddhists? Would you watch, let's say you have a nice old grandmother that's sweet, caring, kind, bakes you cookies, remembers your birthday, all this different stuff. She gives you hugs. She appreciates you when you help her out. She really is grateful. She shows gratitude. She's just wonderful as a being. Would you really want to see her suffering and call it noble? Or would it pain you to see her suffering? Or your pet, your beloved pet, to see them suffer? You want to end their suffering if they can't help cure them, if there's no way to cure them, and they're old and they're suffering, and there's no cure, there's no way to help them. Fuck this place. This place is horrible. You know, when you go through this and you see real suffering of others. Shaking my head, this is just disgusting to me, this shit. This monk shit, this Buddhist shit. And, well, it's a religion, so you have to, this is what they push, demons push. Well, you have to consider this, because there's a lot of people that follow this. Well, there's a lot of sheep in this realm that follow a lot of things that don't make any sense. Okay? The noble truth of suffering. Just because there's so much suffering in this realm doesn't make suffering good, noble, necessary at all. It just means you're in a suffering realm, and maybe you have fucking Stockholm syndrome because you're trying to protect the ones that cause the suffering and say, well, they're blame-free, it's our fault. You have Stockholm syndrome. Okay? And a lot do in this realm. A lot in this realm do. I'm talking about the vast, vast majority of humanity have Stockholm syndrome. They rage against the truth, and they try to protect the demons that cause a lot of the suffering here. And the realm itself causes suffering, where if you got rid of all the demons ruling this world, life still eats life here. There's still 10,000 diseases. There's still earthquakes, tornadoes, hurricanes, all that stuff. It's still here. If you got rid of the top of the pyramid, all of that's still here. This realm is designed to cause suffering. People don't like to hear that. Because I say the things on my channel the other channels don't even go near going into. I go deep into this stuff. Maybe one day you'll thank me. I'm not doing this for thank yous, but maybe one day when it really, really sinks in with you that, oh wow, or it just hits you. Stephen really was talking about real truth. And now I see why he was doing that. Not to hurt people. Not to hurt their feelings or make them down about this realm, because it's necessary to see that real truth, to really understand where we are, to really see it. He had to show it, and he didn't like doing it, and it was actually painful for him to do it for months and years, or however long I do this. It's been almost a year now, so it's been not just months, but almost a year making videos. Poured my heart out into this. Made well over 1,000 videos. I don't know how many in total. Is it over 1,500? Is it getting close to 2,000 when you add them up on all of my channels? I don't know. Doesn't matter in one sense. I don't know what the grand total is, but it's a lot. Okay, it's a lot. I wonder, why did he make all these for free? If money's not the motivation, and he didn't monetize the Sanity machine with over 3,000 subscribers, he could have monetized it and had ads running. He doesn't do that. He's not doing it for the money. He doesn't have a Patreon. He doesn't have a PayPal. Or he has one. He doesn't advertise it. You can't send him money. You can't donate because people don't know what it is. He uses it for other stuff. I don't accept donations, but I'll give money to people. He doesn't have a Cash App. What is he doing? What's he doing this for? That's how warped people are in this realm at this point, sadly. They're so jaded. They can't imagine somebody trying to do good for the sake of good. They can't even imagine that. There's been people on my channel that have said that can't be the reason. They're so far gone. I hope I never ever end up as jaded and bitter and warped as they are in their view that can't be possible. I hope I never end up like them. Not just here, but wherever I go in my eternal life. If I end up somewhere else in another physical realm. Because I'm not ruling that out. Who knows? I might choose that quote millions of Earth years from now. Time really doesn't exist, but you get what I'm saying. I'm going to spend a long time out of body and not in a body again. And I'm going to enjoy myself and rest. Get some real rest, sleep, spiritual rest, and peace. Peace and quiet. Because I have been pushing hard, not just this past year, but my body's worn out, let's put it that way. And I'm kind of laughing about it because, it just is. It's worn out. It's worn out. I'm not burnt out for ideas. I still have a lot of knowledge and wisdom I could share. The demons hate that, of course, and so be it. They hate everything. They're just complete haters. Does this add up for you? Trying to convince you that suffering is good and noble. You've watched a loved one suffer and die in a hospital, or a hospice, that's not true. Suffering is not good, truthful, noble.
Monks, is the noble truth of suffering. Birth is suffering. Aging is suffering. Illness is suffering. Death is suffering. Union with what is displeasing is suffering. Separation from what is pleasing is suffering. Not to get what one wants is suffering. In brief, the 5 aggregates subject to clinging are suffering. And then he goes on to say how to alleviate your suffering, which will lead you down, the noble truth, the eightfold path to enlighten. There's nothing about necessarily learning lessons in there. I mean, it might be indirectly like you learn lessons through stopping doing the things that are causing you suffer, but that's as close as it gets from what I found. So it sounds like he's wrong about what Eastern traditions teach. Yeah, it seems to be a large misinterpretation, but this is what you can expect from someone who makes a living out of calling everything a trap. He literally is the name of his book, The Trap. So of course it makes sense to interpret it from a negative sense and say it's a trap. And a part of this so-called trap, he also references a term, ring pass not, as
why did he raise his leg there? I mean, he's almost like, this is so strange. This is just so strange. You should bust out, do breakdancing, or maybe do the Oktoberfest chicken dance or something. I mean, this is just fucking weird. Oh, I called him weird. I said what he's doing is weird. Some are going to be drying tears from their eyes and, calling me a bully. Oh, he's misleading you that could keep you here potentially for eternity, but he's good. He's not a bully. He's fine. I mean, it's so warped the way people view things in this realm. It really is. I can't wait to be so far away from this realm, but just unreachable to them, where they can't even come near me ever again. Ever again. What's child abuse? Is that suffering good? What's the point of it? Harm, trauma. It doesn't do any good. It scars you for life. And you defend it.
the name of his book, The Trap. So of course it makes sense to interpret it from a negative sense and say it's a trap. And a part of this so-called trap, he also references a term, ring past not, as the reason why we are all trapped here, which originates actually from Theosophy. And it's kind of this philosophical belief system that stemmed in the 19th century from the work of Helena Blavatsky and other people. Theosophy kind of blends elements from Eastern, Western philosophy, mysticism, some occultism. And so what ring past not is it's a term that's used to describe a boundary or kind of like this limit to the consciousness of a being. So basically, you can't pass through this limit or this boundary until your consciousness has reached a certain level of development or kind of enlightenment. So what you're saying is kind of like a force field that won't let you pass until you have a high enough frequency. Yeah, and then this seems to be the basis of what's happening according to him, which I think is definitely possible. Like that could be possible, but it doesn't mean that Eastern traditions are wrong, which is what he's saying, because from
No, this guy likes the Eastern tradition, so they must be right, right? Does he have a man bun? Because in the other, with the shades on, the orange shirt, he has the mullet. So does he have it tied up into a man bun? Yes, that does matter. He's a soy boy. It is relevant for the people that are wanting to defend him and saying, you're just a bully, that's an ad hominem attack. Go cry somewhere else. Go to a safe space. Get your Kool-Aid and cookies and Care Bear and your security blankie, coloring books and crayons.
is definitely possible. Like that could be possible, but it doesn't mean that Eastern traditions are wrong, which is what he's saying. Because from one perspective, you could say that once you achieve traditional enlightenment, you can leave the cycle of reincarnation and move into higher planes of existence, which is basically the same as what he's saying, right? So he's just wording the same phenomenon differently. Bro just doesn't want to call it learning lessons. And I want you to really ponder this. If you have a negative point of view of our reality, of course you're going to see the whole world as a trap. Because if you had a positive point of view, you would kind of see it as a world that was designed to be suffering in order to give you an experience of a hard game to complete. But if I told you that you had to play a game and you had to complete that,
moving his hands all over, and he's trying to portray it as, oh, it's just because you're negative, so you see it as negative. But if you're a positive person, so he's making the battery thing again, you're either negative or you're a positive terminal. You're one or the other. You're negative or you're positive. It's all about perspective, man. It's not about observing reality and seeing the suffering and how fucking dark and sinister and evil it is. You can't do, or if you see that, you're negative because you see it, right? Well, if you see a child burning their hand on something, does that mean you're negative or are you seeing what's there? It doesn't mean you're negative. You're seeing it happen and you pull them away because they put their hand on the stove, let's say. Something like that. Whatever the case may be. It might not have children. It might be someone else's child. You see them endangering themselves and you pull them away from it. You saw the danger and you saw the harm about to happen. Does it make you negative for intervening and possibly saving that child's life from, let's say, getting in with a bull or a wild animal or, climbing over something at a zoo where there are other parents not watching them? No, you're not negative. You see the danger. It's not you being negative. It's you being observant of the reality in front of you. It's you being honest and observant and paying attention. He's trying to condemn you for that, saying, well, you're negative then. You're negative if you see this as negative. It's what they always try to do. Gotta pause it for a second.
game, specifically level 6 of this video game, and that until you did this, you couldn't do anything else, and you agreed to do it. You said, okay, I'll complete the game before I do anything else. And then you kept struggling to complete it. What would a lot of people do, especially the immature? They would throw a fit and say, hey, you're imprisoning me here, even though I kind of agreed to it, but I don't remember it because there's a forgetfulness. So it makes sense that this dude would say that, because that's the negative interpretation of something that you are required to do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the truth of what's happening here. And beyond that, there's a lot of...
Where's your evidence that I agreed to do this? Your whole thing is, well, you just forget. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense in this realm. Other than somebody having a sudden case of amnesia, in which people are usually pretty empathetic and understanding because they're like, he doesn't remember anything, doesn't remember who he is, and people try to be very patient and understanding, and, you know, they care because it's like, what a horrible situation to not remember how you got somewhere and who you are and stuff. All right? Have this forced upon us, and some of us do remember. Some people do have memories of it being forced, seeing others forced here. I've done videos and met people and chatted with them, and they have pre-birth memories, and they have memories of spirits being forced down here. So what you're saying is just, you let on that you did research. What your definition of research means compared to mine is worlds apart. Worlds apart. I look at this thing like a deceiver. It's pushing an agenda, and using David Icke and some others that are against what's, you know, against the truth of what's happening in this realm, will use Alex Jones or someone else like on the world stage that's big and famous and goofy and easy to criticize and dismiss, and that's what they do. You know? Pathetic. I want to make things clear, and I do try my best. If I ran into a creature like this, not just for this video, but let's say hypothetically that he spends the next 20, 30 years of his life kind of preaching this shit, might even make a living out of doing it, and he's harming people because he's trapping them in here and making them believe, hey, there's no soul trap, that's bullshit, it's a joke, it's laughable. And then one day he gets to the gates, let's say, and I'm there, and I see him, and I recognize him. I'm like, I recognize you. You tried to keep people there in that hell realm and get them recycled so that when they passed on, they didn't realize it was a soul trap because you misled them. Did a lot of harm to thousands of people. Said, please forgive me, I didn't know what I was doing, or I'm sorry for doing that, just let me out. Why would I want to? I mean, look at the potential harm this guy can reach. Thousands of people have watched this video, thousands of subscribers. That could be thousands of spirits that want out of here. And he's giving them shit, telling them shit, nonsense, that keeps them believing that there's no soul trap. You know? So he's caging them in here. That way. If you see what I'm saying. Through disinformation, through lies. You have to be a real bleeding heart fool to let some creature like this out of here. And this is by no means the worst one. There's ones way worse threatening me, attacking me right now that you don't even know about. And some of you will look and say, well, Stephen's bullying them. You don't even know what they're doing behind the scenes. You don't even know. You don't know. I could take dozens of screenshots, though. I can show it. You know, I can show what they've been doing. See, the thing is, I want to get the point across. By the time it becomes all clear to some of you, it won't be in your body. It'll be out of this body and out of this level. But by that time, it's too late to change. You're going to be judged on your whole lifetime here, what you did here. Okay? That's how I look at it. You don't have to believe me. I'm not talking about some, quote, God. This will be after I hold that, quote, that monster's head under the flames of the lake of fire and burn its face off. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. So you're not even going to be able to beg to that thing for mercy and say, come and save me. Because that monster's face will be burned right off by that point. Before then. Okay, I know this might sound crazy to some of you. So be it. I don't care, because what's sane in this world is a complete fucking lie and fabrication and a trap in itself. Okay? They want to sanitize you by spraying you with DDT and fucking chemicals and everything else. Sanitizing you is just making you into a fucking zombie clone of everyone else walking around here. The same as the zombies. Same, sane, same, sane. Just change one letter. M to an N. Same, sane, same, sane. That's all it is. Sanity is fucking shackles for your mind, a straitjacket. That's what it is. Madness is beautiful. Madness is infinite. Madness is all possibilities and imagination. Madness is what these losers lack. They're not in my league. They can't compete with me. But all I'm saying is, you choose evil here. I'm not just going to take stupid excuses. You must be a fool to think that I'm going to fall for that. I don't fall for it here. I don't fall for it here. I would tell you to go join him. Join this. And listen to his stories for eternity here. Stay here. This is where you belong then. You choose evil, you want to gang up with evil and do me harm and try to harm my channel and stop people from leaving here, then fuck you. That's doing some of the worst harm that isn't physical or sexual that you can do here. In a sense, it is physical and sexual harm too, though, because in your lifetimes here, your chances are you will experience that type of abuse. If you stay here long enough. He's trying to do you tremendous harm. I can't stress that. There are no words for it. And again, I've encountered ones way worse than that, demons coming after me. Every day here. Every day. Because I'm speaking truth for free. And there's losers coming to my channel saying what you're sharing is not knowledge. They'll try to lie to you in every single way. Every possible way. Anyway, it's sickening. But evil's going to do what evil does. Evil is a lie. Evil is full of liars and lies. Okay? And demons. Evil is going to be evil. Because demons are going to be demons. Alright? Evil is going to do what evil's going to do. I expect evil to be evil. But I'm going to do what I'm going to do. You understand? I do what I do. They don't control me. And they hate that. They love to control others. They're such fucking petty little tyrants and dictators and authoritarians. They want to control me. They want to control my content. They want to say, you don't have my permission to do that. They want to control when somebody laughs. They want to control laughter. And they're the food police. They're the laugh police. They want to control what your diet is and everything. That's what evil does. They're control freaks. They're narcissistic control freaks. They're always on camera. They always want to show themselves on camera. Always. Always. They never make videos without themselves on camera. That's what they do. They love it. They just love it. As much as any narcissistic Hollywood star. Of course, they'll never be that, but they wish they were. They wish that was them. This guy probably wishes he was, I don't know, Tom Cruise or whoever. I don't know, Hollywood fucking Brad Pitt. I mean, these are old names. I don't know who the younger ones are, but probably wishes he's one of the younger ones. I mean, I don't even know how long it's been since I really watched any movies. I mean, I'm just not into Hollywood, so anyway, forget about it. But demons are going to be demons. And I'm going to be me. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I don't like that. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm doing what I do. That's like salt over a leech or a slug. They hate that. They hate that. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And I would say that right to a demon's face. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Always, you don't control me. I do what I want. My eyes get very focused, like I'm looking right through them. Right through these demons. And I've done that in person. And they can see that I'm different. Just like, sort of like in the movie They Live, they're like, this one can see. We've got one here that can see. They understand, like, on a frequency level, oh, this one's different. This one's not just a zombie walking around oblivious. He can see what I am. These demons have that sense that he can see I'm a demon. They know. And in that respect, they know better than normies. The normal person would just look at me like, well, he's Steven. He's an artist. He's into this. They don't look at me as someone that could see demons. They don't get it. They don't understand. They just don't get it. They can't fathom, well, he can do something that not everyone does. They see sameness. They want sameness. They assume everyone's the same. We're not all the same. Very different. Some of us have abilities that others do not have. That they don't have from birth. They've never worked on it. They've never done it. Okay? Dismiss it, even if they did get an inkling of that. They would dismiss it and say, that can't be true. That couldn't have been a demon that just walked right by me. You know, that's what they're like. I don't do that. I don't do that. I know we're in a supernatural place. I know this realm isn't what it seems and what it wants you to believe. It isn't that at all. Okay? I've said many times on my channel, I hope it sinks in one day. I hope you really understand the meaning of this. You're in a very complex place. You are in a place where spirits get degraded and eaten in this place. I don't say that to scare you. I say that to prepare you so you have information. Okay? Some people get scared and they take the puzzle pieces and they throw them off the board, scatter them. I'm trying to help you fit them together so you say, oh, that makes sense. We are in a very complex place. This is a fucking place where spirits get degraded and eaten. That's a piece of the puzzle. That's a big piece. And you fit it into your puzzle of understanding of this realm and say, now I see more of the picture. I'm putting the puzzle together. You're putting the puzzle pieces together. You are. And you're saying, I see more now. Stephen is actually helping me see more of the picture. That's what I want. I don't want you scared. I don't say anything on my channel to fearmonger you or scare you. I say the truth, and the truth is not always nice, doesn't always feel good, but I'm not saying anything here to scare you. Okay? So in that respect right there, I'm different than these other channels that fearmonger fucking day in, day out in their videos and their community posts and everything else. They're disempowering you. I don't want you disempowered. I want every good spirit that I contact in this life to be empowered more so after meeting me and knowing me than they were before. That's what I want. I want to lift people up and make them stronger, not weaker. But as for the demons, I do want to seal them in here. I'll never deny that. Make no mistake about it. I'm not here to empower demons. Not at all. I'm a demon slayer. You'll see the ones that have a doubt and say, what? That can't be real. He can't really be serious about that. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see me licking blood right off my sword as I slay these fuckers. Because I'll be enjoying it. All right? After what they've done. Because I understand what they've done on a level that a lot of people, unfortunately, that still come to my channel don't see. They don't see the depth of the suffering here and the evil that's been done here. They just don't get it yet. They don't get it. Okay? They just don't get it. Unless you're a complete psychopath or a sociopath or you have no emotions at all, I think you would either break down or weep and weep and in a way that you're in pain uncontrollably if you got a flash of, let's say, 2 or 3 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Just 3 seconds worth of all the horrors in this realm, of the stuff that you haven't seen that's going on in this place. Never be the same again. It would affect you. Unless you're some creature that's not anything like me at all, it would affect you. To have spiritual eyes to see what's really happening here. Things that will never be on the TV news, never be on your newspaper, never be written about in Time magazine and shown to you. You're in a place that's sicker than what you know. I've been saying for years, it should not exist. It doesn't deserve to exist, which teaches me It has to be ended. Has to be. I can foresee some people on my channel fighting me, trying to stop me from ending this place when the time comes. I'm not kidding about that at all. I can foresee that. I already could foresee before it happened. I'm disappointed in them, but I'm not shocked. The ones that have gone over to the other side onto Team Evil and joined forces with some liars, grifters, deceivers, demons. It's sad, but it's not shocking. Once you can see ahead, you'll see what I mean. So I'm referring to premonitions, precognition, precognitive dreams, things like that. Glimpses of the future. We're in a matrix. It's all code. There are ways to hack this matrix. And they even hack our dreams, which I might go into at some point, but there is something called dream hacking, which is going on here. But anyway, I'm not going to go into too much of that because this video is already very long. And I want to kind of wrap this up in the next, 10 minutes or so. Hopefully. I'm kind of worn out now, but there's a lot of sad things in this place. And I don't say that to depress you or make you down about it. It's just about facing reality and moving forward. Okay? That's what I want. Let's say we're in a canoe together. We're doing a trip. And we have to portage over land at a certain point where there's a tunnel or there's a break in the river, something happens, something can't get through a tunnel. Let's say a beaver's built a dam. We have to pick up the canoe, portage up a hill over top of the road where there's those big steel tunnels where it runs through, and then down onto the other side to get around. We can't get through the beaver's dam. All right? Does it mean we quit because it's hard? Because we have to carry it up this hill and our equipment, and maybe we have backpacks on our backs, and we have stuff in the canoe, and we have to make multiple trips carrying the canoe empty if it's a large enough canoe and maybe a steep enough hill. There's a lot of factors that go on, right? Go into something, but anyway, it's like it's a roadblock, but it didn't stop us. So there are sad things in this place. There's stuff that is tough to see, tough to take. But it doesn't stop us. We keep going. We're going to keep going. We have miles to go. We're not done yet. All right? So don't give up. Don't give up. And you know what? If you don't give up on me, I won't give up on you. Sometimes I even have a hard time giving up on people that have blocked me or walked away from my channel and given up on me because they bought bullshit or lies or propaganda. They got deceived. It stings a little bit, but I keep going. Okay? The way I am. If I get stung by a hornet, I don't just fall down on the ground and start crying. I swat the thing and try to kill it, and then I'll, take a water bottle and try to find some dirt and make a mud paste and put that on it, and I make sure I got the stinger out or whatever, and try to muddy it up. And that's what I'll do. And keep going. And if I get stung again, I keep going. If I get stung some more, I keep going. I might curse. I might not like it. I might say fuck this and fuck that hornet or, whatever. But I'll keep going. It's going to take a lot more than that to stop me. It's just a little sting. It just, stings for a little while. It might hurt. It might hurt intensely for a few seconds or something, but it goes away. It fades. You put the mud on and it's gone pretty quick. And just keep on going. Keep on going. Keep on trucking, as those old hippies used to say in the 60s. And they still believe they changed the world. Those fools. They don't have a clue that they're in a hell realm. They don't have a clue. A clue. They're some of the biggest fools around. Those boomer hippies that were 18, 20, 25 years old in, 1966 or 69 or whatever. They don't have a clue about this realm. Some of the most arrogant and blind idiots around. Old hippies. They'll say with a straight face they fixed this world, that they brought world peace and healed the world. I mean, look at this place. They don't have a clue. And they'll be down on their knees praising a monster and calling it a god. Because they think they know everything. You notice most from that generation, most of the boomers think they know everything. The ones that are 80 years old these days or over 80, upper 70s and 80s, they think they know. Oh man, they've been arrogant for decades. Almost everyone that I ever knew. There might be some exceptions, but there's a hell of a lot of them. And I've heard many, many, many other people say the same thing that live in completely different parts of North America, and they've said the same thing. North, South, Midwest, all over the place. What the fuck happened to that generation, man? If you're that age and you see that this is a hell realm, you don't even know how rare you are. And I'm not saying it to pat you on the back. I'm just saying you are remarkable. Because, man, so many of them didn't have a clue about this place. Look at the black eyes there. Black eyes, just black. Sinister, evil. Forget the bags under his eyes, because I go without sleep. I can have bags under my eyes like that too, right? And I'm older than this guy. I don't know what his age is. He might be 27, 28, might be 30. But I think he's probably under 30. Maybe he's over 30. I don't know. He's got that helium soy boy voice. So, anyway. There is a look to them, though. It will serve you well if you learn how to see it, spot it. Black eyes and that look. This was a zombie apocalypse. I got to be honest. I picture creatures like this, maybe not him, but others. They would eat your face off in a second. They don't care about you at all. They want to stay here. They love this place. Some of them. Some demons hate it because they had delusions of grandeur. They wanted to be rich and famous, and they never made it. They never had any power, and they think they deserve it. They think they're smart, and they really think they deserve it. A lion sword type. He wants out of here, but he wants to have power over others. He wants people to admire him and think he's smart and everything. He wants everything he doesn't have here. He doesn't have anything here. He lives with his parents, mommy and daddy. He's almost 40 years old. Okay? So there's ones like that, but there's other demons that love this place. They love it. It's like it's custom made for them. And they love to lie to you. They love to mind fuck you. They love acting, deceiving. They love it all. They love it all about this place. Laugh if you want and say that sounds like a fictional horror movie, this creature like that eating someone's face off. I think they would do it in a heartbeat. If they ran out of food or if the lights went off, the grid went down, and things were closed for weeks, everything would be emptied out within a matter of so many days, obviously. He would do anything to stay here. This type. And they would be saying this is a great place too. They'd never say it's hell realm. Never. A
lot of talk of not going into the white light, and there's no real evidence.
He just keeps saying white light, white light. He tries to sum up the whole soul trap as not going into the white light, moves his hands all over the place to hypnotize you with his hands. They speak with their hands. Freemasons, demons, Demons on Team Evil. They all do this. It's a pattern. Narcissistic, perfectly clean clothing for being out in the woods camping. Like, come on. Give me a break. Think about it. Look at how that looks. Looks like it came right out of a dryer and put it on. That's what it looks like. He doesn't look like... Think about it. His hands dirty? No. Clothing? Nope. No. Looks like he just arrived there to shoot this video. That's what it looks like. Why? Why, Stephen? Why go to the woods? To influence you. He's showing nature. He's so in touch with nature. It's all about influencing and mind controlling. That's what these creatures are interested in. They love mind controlling others. They love mind fucking others. They love lying to others. Just like politicians do. When people say, this is one thing that really does bother me. How do they sleep at night? Very well. A lot better than I do. Because they're not worried. They don't give a shit about you. They love the lies and evil they're doing. They love it. They love it. They thrive off that. They don't care. They're not up all night, tossing and turning with fucking insomnia. It doesn't bother them at all. They can lie to everyone in the world. It doesn't bother them. They don't have a conscience. You know? So that bothers me. Please, just do me a favor. Don't say, I don't know how they sleep at night. Please don't say that. It sounds stupid. It's annoying. They're not like you. They're not like me. If you have a conscience, please get rid of that saying. Please just stop saying that one. You don't know how they... Because it's like saying, Stephen, I've learned nothing on your channel then. Because they're not like us. So stop saying you don't know how they sleep at night. They're a different type of creature. They're a different type of creepy creature. Incarnation. They're not like you and me. And I'm assuming that you have some type of spirit like me. Okay, by saying that. Maybe you don't. I don't know. But they sleep very well at night. You'd probably be shocked, and you shouldn't be, but you probably would be, if you stayed at their mansion and slept with them and viewed them on a camera or at a sleep clinic or a study where you could see them sleeping. They'd sleep like a baby for 8, 9, 10, 12 hours straight, and they'd wake up refreshed and go, oh man, I have the best sleeps, and they'd probably be boasting about it at breakfast after doing hideous things. Evil, unspeakable evil that I can't even mention on YouTube, they would do, and they would sleep like a baby. Sleep better than anybody else that you could ever imagine. So please get rid of that stupid saying. I hate seeing that. I don't know how they sleep at, quote, I don't know how they sleep at night. I'm going to say it every time. A lot better than I do. Because they're not worried about others at all. At all. They can do the most evil things and they don't worry at all. And they're not worried about paying their bills. They're not worried about money, making enough money to eat, to buy food. They're not worried about, oh, this one's sick. How am I going to help this one? Or this person is in bad health and they don't know about the soul trap. And if this person I care about passes away, they're going to get recycled. I've had those worries and sleepless nights. And I've had a lot on my mind. So evil sleeps very well. So get rid of that stupid saying. It's stupid. It really is. It's almost like looking at a demon and saying, I don't know how they don't care. Well, they're a demon. Okay, they're a demon. I get beyond that. Or they're going to fool you and tear you apart if you don't get to that level. That's incentive. It's not to scare you. Think to yourself, if they could fool me on this simple shit, they're going to have their way with me out of here. So you better start working on that. Get beyond that. Stop projecting yourself on everyone else. I don't know how they don't care like I do. Well, that's stupid. They don't. They're demons. You got to get beyond that. If you have to kick your own ass, do it. But you got to get beyond that. Because it's stupid thinking. It's not going to help you. It's wishful thinking. It's not going to help you. It's going to endanger you. You got to get rid of that stupidity. Okay? You got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of that. It's as dumb as somebody in the south saying, well, my tires are bald and there's snow forecast, but I'll be all right. I don't know how I'll be able to drive, of course, on bald tires if it snows 6 inches. Of course I will. Why wouldn't I? Why would I slide around? Like, you sound stupid. Think better. Like, do more than that. Come on. Okay? You got it? Really. You really got to think more than that.
agreed to it, but I don't remember it because there's a forgetfulness. So it makes sense that this dude would say that because that's the negative interpretation.
Hands going all over the place. I know I don't want to harp on this, but I really want to point it out so that you really notice it. Again, not just with this guy, but for the rest that you ever see, not just on my channel, not just on videos, not just on YouTube, in real life. Notice this stuff. Notice what they do. Notice the body language. Notice their hands going all over the place. Want to mesmerize you with their hands. Because it isn't normal. It's not natural. Kind of like magicians do, or illusionists. Sleight of hand, and then they hide the object up their sleeve or somewhere, but they're moving their hands so quickly that you can't see where they placed it. Okay?
It and say, hey, you're imprisoning me here, even though I kind of agreed to it, but I don't remember it because there's a forgetfulness. So it makes sense that this dude would say that because that's the negative interpretation of something that you are required to do. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the truth of what's happening here. And beyond that, there's a lot of talk of not going into the white light, and there's no real evidence as to why not. But that shit has really never been reliable as absolute facts. And so that's why I think it's important, if we're going to say that this is absolute facts, that this is it, that it needs to have some sort of historical evidence or some sort of evidence that you can give me besides basically, I think this way.
Historical evidence? What, religion? Religion? Mainstream religion? He wants absolute facts, and he's referring to Eastern religions, like Buddhism that preaches suffering. It's all suffering, but it's all good, right? Man, this is incredible. I wonder if anybody in his comments was able to see through him. He doesn't like these comments like this one, but a few months ago, he didn't like her comment because she's saying that someone said, false light and all this stuff. But yeah, he doesn't heart a lot of comments. Anyone that doesn't agree with him, they don't get a heart. Interesting, isn't it? Look at this person. They wrote, not a trap, part of the video game. Video game. It's why we have the divine spark. It is what allows us to break free. Not everyone reincarnated. Some get stuck in limbo or worse. These people talk about things like they know something, and they don't. A lot of them don't. Some of them might have a little bit of the puzzle, but a lot of them just talk out of their ass. Well, some of the dummies say, well, Stephen, how do we know you're telling the truth? Because if you examine what I'm saying, it adds up. It's not about me saying it. If you look at the evidence that I present, it adds up. It's not 2 + 2 = pineapple. It makes sense, what I'm saying. Oh, well, what do you mean? What do you mean it makes sense? Well, this world is full of suffering and evil, and it's ruled over by evil, and it's designed to create suffering. So it couldn't have been created by a good, loving God, because that doesn't add up. Okay? It adds up as much as you saying, well, this is a good, loving parent, and then you find out like horrendous abuse that they cause to their children. Intentional abuse. And it's evil. Well, then they're not good, loving parents. It doesn't add up. Do you understand? It's not about me saying it. And that's where I've tried to remove myself from the equation, but people still fixate on me. And it's just my voice. It's not even my face. I'm not on the screen. I'm not focusing. I'm not trying to get you to focus on me. I'm trying to get you to focus on the information, the ideas, the insights, the theories, the how it adds up, the puzzle pieces, how it connects, how like it makes sense. What I'm saying. That's what I want your focus on. Is on that, not me. Not looking at me and saying, well, Steven's wearing this color shirt today, and he looks a bit tired today, and today he has a hat on. To this day he doesn't, and he's in bed. And this video, and this one he was standing up, and he was outdoors. Like I'm not what you should be focused on. I've said that from the start of my channel. I don't want to be the focus. I don't want to be in the spotlight. I want to reach people. Okay? Don't fixate on me. Don't fixate on me. You look at what I'm saying in my videos, it adds up. It makes sense. That's all you have to do. But it takes you some work. You can't just watch 10 minutes or 20 minutes and say, well, how do I know you're telling the truth? You might want to watch a bit more than that on my channel, because I kind of made these videos for a reason, to be watched. And I'm not going to sum up thousands of videos and thousands of hours and say, well, I can sum it up in 60 seconds. I can't do that. You're in a complex place. I can't sum it up in 45, 50, 60 seconds, or even 50 minutes. Okay? Team Evil can sum things up because they tell you 2 + 2 equals rotten pineapple, and you start nodding your head and saying, yeah, that adds up. It's not 4, it's rotten pineapple. 2 + 2 equals rotten pineapple. That adds up. They tell you bullshit that doesn't add up, and they have most of the people watching are nodding their heads up and down, agreeing, yeah, that adds up. What he spewed here doesn't make any sense. Okay? He can do whatever he wants when he passes away. So can you. So can you. I'm not trying to convince you to do what I'm going to do. I'm just giving you some information and an option and reaching out and saying, I'm trying to help people. You don't have to, if you're a fool, you won't consider it. But an intelligent person will consider what I'm saying here. I didn't arrive at this conclusion in a day or a week or a year or 2 years or 3 years. It's taken a long time to get to this point of this level of understanding, the way that I see this place and what's going on. But fools will be fools, and lazy fools will be lazy fools. I can't make a lazy person research. I just can't do it. They're not going to do it. That's on them. I've come to that point. That's on them. If they're lazy and they don't find this interesting and they don't want to look into it and watch and listen and think about it, consider it and ponder it, that's on them. Because the people that do spend the time here, I notice they almost always say after spending enough time here, they're like, yeah, it makes sense. Stephen, you came across as harsh or aggressive or abrasive, or I hated you at first. Some have said that to me. They openly said, I hated you at first. They didn't know me, and they said I didn't even have a reason to hate you, other than you were saying things that I didn't like. I didn't like hearing it. So I really hated you because I didn't like hearing what you were saying. Didn't make me feel good. Didn't make me feel good. And they said, you know what? And then I started binge watching your videos. I've heard this from multiple people. It's not just one or two. And they said they started binge watching my videos. And they said it made sense. And the more I watched, the more sense you made. This is what people have said to me that didn't like me. Okay? So it isn't like, oh, I charmed them into believing me. No, they didn't like me. They arrived on my channel thinking, this guy's kind of an asshole. You get what I'm saying? And I do kind of find it amusing. It's not that I want people to hate me or think of me that way. It isn't that at all. But it's like they went from that point. That's their starting point where I don't like this guy, hate this guy, to watching and then binge watching. They watched a couple. Then they started to get addicted and binge watching. And then they realized, you know what? The more I watch and hear what this guy's saying, the more sense that he's making and showing. He's not just saying shit about this realm. He's showing it. When he talks about suffering, he'll show earthquakes and disasters. He'll show the acts of, quote, acts of God. He'll show blindness. He'll talk about blind children, millions of blind people. He'll talk about children with leukemia. He'll talk about disabled children that have debilitating, lifelong, really bad disabilities and deformities, ones that have facial deformities or missing their arms or hands they can't use and feet, all kinds of really terrible deformities that really affect them. Talks about all sorts of things in this realm that you don't see on other channels. He shows nature as it really is, life eating life. He doesn't sugarcoat things. He doesn't whitewash things. He doesn't put on rose-colored glasses. He doesn't lie to us. He doesn't say things to make us feel good. He's giving us the real fucking truth here. Okay? Undiluted. If there was a bottle in the fridge that said on it, XXX, like moonshine, and then it said truth, I'm opening that up and I'm not mixing it with anything. I'm not putting any fucking Pepsi in there or ginger ale or orange juice or, you know, I'm saying here, you want some real truth? And I'm warning you, it stings. It's strong stuff. You're warned, okay? This is 180 proof truth. Here. It's no bullshit. You want to take a swig of this? Don't have to. I'm not forcing you to. I'm not even going to peer pressure. It's okay if you can't handle it. And you say, no, I want to, Stephen. I want to. Please let me take a swig of that 180 proof bottle of moonshine. Truth. XXX on there. And you take a swig, and it nearly blows the top of your head off. Okay? Why? Because you start seeing reality as it really is. I didn't make it this way. I don't want it this way. If I designed it, it wouldn't be this way. There wouldn't be the suffering, the cruelty, the diseases, the deformities, the children suffering, forms of abuse, sexual abuse, child abuse, all this horrible stuff here. There wouldn't be, all these gross things here that people don't like, that they have phobias over. And they have to deal with it. They're in a realm with this stuff, and they don't want it near them, including bugs, let's say, cockroaches, maggots, leeches, name it, millipedes, all sorts of stuff. Creepy crawlies, creepy creatures, you name it. There's all kinds of stuff. All kinds of, whatever, man. And it's endless in this place. Poison ivy. I said earlier what that did to me, and I had it many times in childhood, not just once, really, but I had it really, really bad certain times where it'll drive you nuts when it's between your fingers, and you can feel it itching all the time, night and day, and it's rubbing against each other because it's bubbling out, bubbles of it, between one finger and in between to the next finger. You almost have to use stuff to keep your fingers spread apart so you don't go crazy trying to itch it. You can't itch it, makes it worse. What's that for? Oh, well, Stephen, don't you know that's a plant's natural protection? Why was it invented and created by your creator is what I'm speaking about, not the plant's defensive mechanism. Don't understand those people. They don't get it. They don't think levels deep. I don't expect, praise or anything, but the good spirits one day when they get out of this place and realize that what I was telling them is true, they might just want to spiritually cover me in kisses and say, you know what, you really were speaking the truth. I get it now. I get it. Now I have the ultimate proof because we're out of the matrix and you helped me get out of here. You helped me see where I was. I didn't know where the fuck I was down there. That's what I'm trying to do. It's not easy. There's a lot of people. There's not just people, demons opposing me. They're opposing the shit out of me and trying to stop me for what I'm trying to expose in this realm. I get a lot of backlash, a lot of attacks, a lot of threats. It's ongoing smear campaigns. You name it. I have to deal with so much shit that I shouldn't have to deal with at all. At all. They're trying everything they possibly can. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Why would I spend my time just on this video over 2 hours long speaking about these things, not just talking about him or what, but speaking about these things in hopes that it sinks in? Am I doing this for money? No. My channel's not monetized. I'm not asking for donations. I don't have a Patreon. I don't advertise a PayPal and say, hey, donate to this or Cash App. I don't have a membership club that you can click on and join or whatever, right? I don't think he had, well, I don't know what this is, but Linktree. Anyway, I don't have a monthly membership program. I don't have this talk on the phone with me for hundreds of dollars an hour, you know? If someone was in trouble and needed to speak with me on the phone, I wouldn't charge them anything to speak with me. I'll put it that way. I'd try to help them for free and make time for them. You know, if they're a good spirit and a subscriber, they're on my channel, and, you know, I see them enough to know that they are here watching my stuff, and they're not someone trying to troll me and just waste my time or lie to me and pretend that they're whatever on the phone, you know, that like these scam artist demons do. But anyway, I do try to help people as much as I can. And these demons will tell you the exact opposite, but my life shows what I'm doing here. And you'll see it more clearly outside of this realm that I did try my heart out. And those might be my final words. One day. I might just say I tried. I really tried to help them, but I don't know how many I really, really reached, because I see so many people running back to cults, Team Evil, liars, demons, channels that are just sickening. So, yeah, it is, it's troubling. And it's anyway, I'm going to move on. Eyes are getting tired. My eyes are getting blurry. And I'm going to wrap this up soon. But this is important. This is important. These are important topics to think about. All this stuff that's been covered in this. I know it's a lot to digest at one time. I can kind of realize that. If I try to think back, you know. But anyway, I'm doing my best.
Because just because something's a possibility doesn't...
That's getting really annoying, though.
I think this way, because just because something's a possibility doesn't mean that that's the truth. And that's what happens with a lot of these people. But think about this. If you were a negative entity, what would you want to do to be as nefarious as possible, to be as evil as you could be? You would trick people into thinking that the one thing that will help them, which is, you know, going towards source or going toward this white light, that this would be something that they want to avoid. You would want to not only make them fear life as a trap, you would also want to make them fear death, because now it's all a prison. So you're making them fear death and life, and you'd say it's all a prison so that they live afraid of what comes next and what's happening now, so that they never reach their potential, because they're always just scared. They're always fearful of what it is, and it's all bad.
Not pushing fear. I'm talking about people choosing freedom to break free out of what this place obviously is. You're already in an evil place. And this is what they'll never say. They'll never say this is a hell realm. So reach your potential. Everything you do here goes away once you leave here. Everything. You pass down pictures, you pass down artwork. Eventually it gets lost. It gets wrecked. It degrades. It gets given away. It gets lost. It gets burned. It gets damaged. It's in a fire. It's in a flood. Everything. I mean, where's your stuff from your great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother or grandfather? Where is it? It's all gone. Eventually, it's all gone. I'm not saying this to make you sad. All my stuff will be. Every piece of artwork that I've ever created, all of my writing, all of my visual art, drawings, paintings, and the prints and everything, and the shirts, everything that my artwork is on, eventually it's all gone. It's all to dust in this place. Everything degrades, just like a laptop will, electronic devices, just like your blankets will, your clothing, you name it, all of it. Heirlooms, family heirlooms, like stuff You might see some that's the oldest and the richest people in the world might have been able to pass down for hundreds of years, but even then, everything goes away eventually. It gets forgotten, and it goes to dust, just like tombstones do. The names eventually get weathered right off of them. So, reach your potential. Everything you do here eventually is forgotten. I'm not saying this to make you sad. It's just the truth. Okay? So don't be so hard on yourself. You don't have to be perfect here. Okay? It is fun to make artwork and stuff and share it with people and do this and that. But I'm aware that everything I do here goes away. Nothing I do here is going to be forever. Nothing. This is a trap, what he's preaching. That you can reach your potential. You can do this, you can do that. It isn't about mindset. It's like prisoners with Stockholm Syndrome saying, this isn't a prison. You're just negative for calling this a prison. We just got to reach our potential. We just got to work harder and do better and be more perfect and reach enlightenment and be spiritual. And I'm standing there going, it's a prison. I'm just telling the truth. It's not being negative. It is what it is. I'm saying what it is. And this is a hell realm. Okay? You don't have to see bars, but it is what it is. Go watch some animals being eaten. They're being eaten right now, every single second of every day and night in this realm. That's how nature works. You might not like it, but that is the truth. You don't see them eating each other all the time, every day, and you're not out in nature. You're not out in the wild seeing it, but that is what's happening. Some people are appalled when they do see it. They don't realize it until they see it firsthand. They might see a seagull eat another bird. Okay? Or something like that, something close to that. Or they might see a bird eat a chipmunk or a squirrel, and they just recoil. It's just, they're seeing how cute it is, and the next moment it's in the mouth of something being eaten. That is nature. It's going on, and whether you see it or not, that is what's happening. People don't like that, but that's what's happening. Bunnies are being eaten. Everything's being eaten. Lions are eating every day. Okay? You might not like it, but that's what's happening.
Never reach their potential because they're always just scared. They're always fearful of what it is, and it's all bad. Shit. Look, at the end of the day, there's no real way to tell if it's true, if it's false. There's no way to prove any of this. But I think the only thing that...
He says at the end of the day, well, if what I'm saying is correct, you'll get out. If you follow him, though, you won't even stand a chance because you won't do anything that I'm advising people to try doing to leave this place. Okay? And if you follow him, you won't even realize that you're in a hell realm and a bad place to begin with. So when you're passing away, you won't even think, you won't even attempt it. You won't even care if you come back here because you'll just be like, Earth's beautiful. I love it. I'd love to do this again. You'd have that mindset. Or you'd think, like he thinks, well, just go to heaven. If we're enlightened enough or good enough, just go to heaven with Jesus or just, be enlightened in the whatever, It's up to you. I'm going to say it this way. There's no harm in understanding what I'm saying about this place. None at all. But if you follow ones like this, you have zero chance. That's the harm. It isn't about being fearful or scared. Okay? You're in a prison. Are you going to follow a dummy? Or are you going to say, this guy, Steven, I'm not going to say what my IQ is. I don't think I'll ever put that out on YouTube. But are you going to realize, hey, this guy makes sense. Let's put it that way. He makes sense. He makes sense. He seems to understand the workings of this place. He remembers the layout. He pays attention. He observes. He pays attention to details. He watches the guards. He watches this. He watches that. He watches the laundry. He's paying attention to everything. And I could almost tell that guy's forming a plan, a prison break. I want to go with that guy because I think that guy's getting out. and they're looking over at me. And then there's some dummy over there saying, this isn't a prison, it's just about perspective. You're just negative. If it's a prison, it's because, you're mentally viewing it as a prison. You're just negative and scared, and this place isn't bad. We get 3 meals a day, and we got a cot to sleep on, and, we have indoor plumbing, and, we get our meals on a tray, and we're allowed to take a shower, and they even give us half an hour to go out in this fucking yard and exercise, and, this isn't bad. And I'm saying it's a prison. I'm just telling it to you very bluntly, very matter of fact. I'm just plain spoken. We're in a prison, and I'm not staying here. I'm getting out. I'm formulating a plan to get out of here. You want to join the A-team, and I'm Hannibal, and you're Mr. T, or you're whatever. Okay, whatever. Right? Maybe you didn't even watch that TV show, but I've got the cigar, and I'm saying I love it when a plan comes together, and I do. Okay, and I do have a plan. And I am getting out of this place. And I'm not just getting out of this place. I'm ending this place. And as he says at the end of the day, well, at the end of the day, I don't care if people don't believe me. I'm doing it regardless. Believe or don't believe. It's not going to stop me or deter me either way. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And that's what my mind and my genius is set on. And if you don't understand how I'm using that word, so be it. You probably don't. Probably don't. Probably think it's ego, or you don't understand what I mean. Maybe you will one day. I hope. But I'm kind of tired of hoping. There's so many people on my channel. There's going to be a few more here, a few more there that just, they've been here for months and they decide to run back right into the arms of evil. And it is disgusting to me. It's weak, and it's sad, and it's sick. And then they bash me, and it's two-faced and everything else. But I'm going to get out of here. I'm planning a break out of here. And I am taking people with me that want to voluntarily come along and join me. Okay? Join me. The ones that don't, I'm not dragging you out. I gave it my all. Some of you I dragged out of cults. I dragged out of YouTube cults, Quantum of Con Men channel, and others. I dragged you out of a cult here, out of there, and people kept saying, oh, I'm so appreciative, I'm glad you... And then there they are, bashing me. They're on Team Evil now, And I helped them break free from actual cults. I helped certain ones. There's a one that left my channel a long time ago, back to Team Evil. And I was helping her break free from Jehovah's Witnesses, a younger person. Want to go to the channels where they tell you what you want to hear? By all means. You've been warned, though, about them. By me. It's up to you. I'm getting out of here, and I've said this from the very beginning of my channel. I'm getting out of this place. I don't know if you will. I don't know. There's going to be thousands listening to my voice with this video. Over 1,000, maybe over 2,000, maybe over the months or years, it might be in the thousands. I don't know who you are listening to this, but I'm getting out, and I am trying to help people get out. If you want to buy this bullshit on channels like this, you go for it. But I would bet everything you follow this shit, you're staying here. You're going in the recycling bin, and you don't stand much of a chance at all of getting out. You'd be heading for those fake angels, fake Jesus, fake light that feels euphoric, like a moth to a flame. That's what he's teaching you to do. He's teaching you to victimize yourself and be stupid. And I don't teach stupidity around here. I don't respect stupidity either.
They all agree on is the only thing that really truly matters in all of this, and that is that self-realization through love is the answer.
Look at this, Jesus Christ pose, head tilted back. This is Freemasonic again, right there. That is completely intentional. It's not spontaneous. That is intentional. Right back to Osiris. That the end?
Partner, I hope you enjoyed this little deep
Oh, is that the end of his shit?
dive into the soul trap phenomenon. If you did, consider subscribing, sticking around, because we're gonna have plenty.
So fake. So fake. That's not real personality. And unfortunately, so many people have been programmed these days they can't tell. They can't tell that that's like a actor and a bad one. You know? He's not funny. He's not fake. His personality's fake, or he is fake. His personality's fake. Sorry, I'm starting to get tired. It's getting late, and I've been battling, man. I've been struggling. So if I screw up on words here and there, try not to hold that against me. I feel like I haven't had a real good sleep, and I'm trying different things that people have suggested, by the way, to help with insomnia. So, but I don't just have insomnia. I have some health issues as well, and I've been battling for a few years now. So, anyway, I'm not going to harp on that, but people can't tell what's fake, and it's pathetic these days. He looks at the end like someone's doing a bad cheesy TV commercial, some shit. It's pathetic. You better wake up and be able to see through this.
Alrighty, partner, I hope you enjoyed this little deep dive into the soul trap phenomenon. If you did, consider subscribing, sticking around, because we're going to have plenty more videos on a multitude of topics. And if you want to see a video on a specific topic, link is in the description. Tell me in the comments below, what do you want to see? I'll be reading, I'll be watching, okay? So thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon, all my Patreon family, for supporting this.
Oh, wow, I didn't know until right now he has a Patreon. What a surprise. Wow. He has a Patreon. So it must be on this link, I guess. Here he is. Author, video creator, and podcaster. Wow. One-on-one with Nick. Versus the game Clothing. Clothing with meaning. Universe. Look at this. High quality health investments. Wow, this guy's making money various ways, hand over fist on you. And that, look at, there's the Seal of Solomon. Right up for his Patreon symbol, he's using the Seal of Solomon. Isn't that wonderful? Is that last name a tiny hat? ZEI? Via PayPal. So you can pay on Patreon or PayPal. Oh, he's got books. My books. 10 Secrets of Awakening. Awesome. Awesome. Donate directly. Buy a coffee. He's got many ways you can give money. Awesome, man. Awesome. Look at the face here. Just went by 2 hours, 33 minutes, 33 seconds a few seconds ago. I had to zoom in on this for you. I am using a VPN because I want it to show that I'm in Canada. Okay? To Premium CA. But am I really in Canada or am I somewhere else right now? Look at his face, black eyes, and look at the teeth. Look at almost the snarl telling people about his Patreon. Look at that. That's a daemon. That's a daemon. That's a daemon. Got the black eyes and the snarling face of a demon. That's what they're showing you.
This endeavor to get these videos out and to start talking about some of these nuanced topics. And you keep the train running here. So thank you again. And if you want to join the Patreon to support this movement, to support more stories getting released quicker, consider signing up in the description. Other than that, we'll see you in the next one. And until then, peace.
Want to to watch that garbage? You want to follow him? You go do what you want to do. Whoever's listening to my voice, you're free to do whatever, follow whoever you want. Do whatever you want. You can follow him right into the recycling bin if you want to. It's your choice. Anyway, it goes by the mothers, so maybe his mothers from the tribe will say, you get what I'm saying, the tiny hat. I don't know, but big time deceiver. Not a huge channel, but I mean big enough, over 12,000 subscribers. It's very difficult to get there to that level if you're speaking real truth. Only 20 videos. Look at that. Oh man, you want to talk about being pushed by YouTube. Only 20 videos. And he's got 12,000 subscribers. Think about it. I mean, for the people that can think. Some can't, unfortunately, that show up on my channel and they get banned. Because they just can't think at all. Or they're trolls or just liars, losers. Look at this garbage. Incredible. Only 20 videos, and he only started 6 months ago. 6 months ago. And he's got 12,000. 20 videos in 6 months. You want to talk about being pushed by YouTube. It's not like the guy's worked his ass off for a year and made thousands of videos, multiple channels, tried to advertise his channel, promote it everywhere on his own, spending hours and hours a week doing that. Subscribing to people, trying every tactic to get people to find out about his channel. And he doesn't have to do any of that and just gets over 12,000 subscribers for this garbage in 6 months. So that's the difference. That's how it works here. That's how it works. Here's his Patreon link right there. Amazon link. Has that many subscribers and he only has 274,000 views. But he doesn't have many videos, that's the reason. Just 20 videos, so. If he had the amount of videos that I had, he'd have millions of views, but I don't even have 1 million views yet. And I have well over 1,000 videos on the Sanity machine. So, anyway. His videos only go back 6 months ago. So. He likes these videos of, editing. People love this dumb shit. Should I put on different clothes and edit myself? Do you want the information or do you want stupidity and just, a copy of a bad TV show or bad TV commercial? That's what this reminds me of. And I think people have been conditioned to want this shit. It's incredible to me. The degradation of minds in this realm. I just want out of here and so far away. Just want to be so far away from this that I'll never have to encounter these again. And short videos. And all the hashtags down. Hashtag twin flame. Hashtag soulmates.
Have you heard about how the white light people see after death is actually part of the whole reincarnation trap? And that they're keeping us imprisoned here by going into the light? No, I don't want to get into it.
Just the first part of the video we just watched. He made it into a short video. And of course, he gets huge numbers and huge amounts of likes. My videos, short videos, don't get 90 likes. People love what's stupid. They really do. More people love stupidity. 90 likes on this short video. Anyway, it is kind of disheartening, but that is the level that humanity's at. And time again, it's not just this guy's YouTube. It's all over this realm, the proof of that. It's all around you. Everywhere you look, people love stupid shit. Just like they love dumb music with dumb lyrics that isn't real music. It's garbage. It's repetitive. It has stupid, senseless, repetitive, degenerate lyrics, just awful, just terrible. That's what people love. They love dumb shit. They love dumb videos. They love everything that's dumb in this realm. They love it. Everything that's dumb, everything that's not funny, that's degenerate, or just low-level idiocracy. They love it. They love it. So anyway, that's my rant on that. I am almost sick watching some of this stuff because it's so far off from the truth. It doesn't match up with observable reality whatsoever. Thanks for watching.